Ever scroll through your LinkedIn profile and kind of cringe a little? Like, is this really me?
Yeah, we've all been there.
Especially if you're thinking about a career change.
Yeah.
That old profile, well, it just doesn't fit anymore.
Exactly.
So in this deep dive, we're going to tackle that head on. How to make your LinkedIn work for you, not against you.
Love it.
And we've got some amazing tips and tricks from a real pro.
Happy to be here. So, LinkedIn. It can be a bit of a mystery, right?
Totally.
People think it's just an online resume. But honestly, it's your chance to shine.
More than just a resume, so.
It's like, imagine a billboard, but for your career. It's telling everyone, this is me. This is what I can do.
Okay, I'm liking this billboard analogy.
And just like a billboard, it needs to grab attention.
Makes sense. So where do we even begin?
First things first, gotta put yourself in the recruiter's shoes.
Okay, so pretending I'm a recruiter.
Right. And you're looking for someone in your new W field. What does your profile say to them?
Interesting. I guess that's where a lot of us get stuck.
Totally. It's about telling the right story.
And isn't the headline super important for that?
Absolutely. That headline is the first thing people see.
It's tiny, but...
It's got to pack a punch. Instead of just your current title, use keywords that show where you're going.
Like, give me an example.
Okay, say you're an accountant, but you're dreaming of UX design.
Big change.
Your headline could be something like, accountant with a passion for user-centered design.
Oh, I like that. Straight to the point.
Exactly. You're not hiding your past, but you're showing your ambition.
Okay, headline revamped. What's next?
Now let's dive deeper into your summary, your experience, and your skills.
Each one is important. So, the summary, that's where it gets tempting to just copy and paste from your resume, right?
Oh, big no-no. This is your chance to tell your story. Why this new career? What makes you tick?
And how do our skills fit in?
That's where those transferable skills come in, the ones you might not even realize you have.
Okay, so like...
Imagine you're switching from sales to project management.
Okay, pretty different, right?
But think about it. In sales, you had to meet deadlines, communicate effectively, and juggle multiple tasks.
Sure.
Those are all project management skills. You just need to reframe them.
So it's like translating your experience into a new language.
Exactly. And speaking of language, don't forget keywords. Recruiters use specific terms.
Yeah, those buzzwords.
Weave them into your profile, especially in the skills section. The more specific, the better.
Got it. But isn't there a danger of, like, keyword stuffing?
Oh, for sure. It's got to be genuine. Don't just list every keyword under the sun.
So it's got to be authentic. Skills that you actually have.
Exactly. And get endorsements for those skills. It's like social proof.
Like a little vote of confidence.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our profile looking sharp. What's the next step in this LinkedIn transformation?
Now it's time to leverage the power of networking. LinkedIn is amazing for connecting with people in your new field.
Yeah, but where do you even start? It can be so overwhelming.
Start by reaching out to people you admire, people whose careers you find inspiring.
Okay, so find those role models.
But when you reach out, personalize it. None of those generic add me to your network requests.
No, nobody likes those.
Right. Mention something specific you saw on their profile. Maybe you share a connection or you love their latest article.
Oh, that's a good tip.
It shows you're actually interested, not just clicking buttons randomly.
It's like starting a conversation at a networking event, but online. And then there are those LinkedIn groups, which can be a bit intimidating.
I get it. But groups are gold mines. They're where the real conversations are happening.
So it's a way to stay in the loop.
Exactly. You can see what's trending, who the key players are, and connect with potential mentors.
Sounds great, but I still get a little nervous about jumping into those discussions, especially as a newbie.
Totally understandable. My advice, lurk before you leap.
Be a LinkedIn fly on the wall.
Exactly. Spend some time getting a feel for the group, the tone, the topics, the key players.
Observe the ecosystem before diving in.
Right. And once you feel comfortable, dip your toe in. Maybe a comment or a thoughtful question.
It's about contributing meaningfully, right? Not just making noise.
Exactly. And that brings us to another crucial step, engagement.
Okay, so we've joined some groups, we're connecting with people. Now what?
Now you got to be active. Don't just lurk in the shadows.
Okay, so what does that look like exactly?
Comment on posts, especially from those industry leaders you admire.
Oh, good idea.
Share articles that you find interesting or insightful. Write your own posts.
Wait, write our own WN posts.
Think of it as raising your hand in class, but in the digital world. You're showing that you're paying attention.
And that we have something to say.
Exactly. Engagement turns you from a spectator into a participant.
Okay, this is starting to make a lot of sense. So we've tackled the profile revamp, we're networking strategically, we're engaging with content. What else do we need to know?
Well, now let's explore LinkedIn's powerful job search tools. This is where it gets really exciting.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
First up, job alerts. This is a game changer. Set up customized notifications for your target roles.
So I don't have to endlessly scroll through job boards.
Exactly. The jobs come to you.
I love that. And what about LinkedIn's targeted applications?
This is where all that work we did on your profile really pays off. When you apply through LinkedIn, your profile becomes a mini resume tailored to that specific role.
So it's like having a resume that automatically adjusts to each job.
You got it. It highlights those transferable skills and uses the keywords that the recruiter is looking for.
Okay, this is amazing. Now, I got to ask about something that always confuses me. LinkedIn Premium. Is it really worth it?
That's a great question, and it really depends on your individual needs and your budget.
Okay, so it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
Right. But Premium does offer some cool features that can give you a real edge, like you can see who's viewed your profile.
Oh, interesting.
That tells you who's interested in you. Plus, you get InMail, which lets you message people you're not connected to.
So you can reach out to recruiters or hiring managers directly.
Exactly. You can think of Premium like a backstage pass to the LinkedIn world.
I like that. Access to the VIP area.
It also unlocks things like salary insights, which can help you negotiate your worth, and learning courses.
I hadn't even thought about the learning aspect, so it's about skill building too.
Exactly. It's a whole package.
Okay, so we've got job alerts, targeted applications, and even the option of premium for those who want to supercharge their job search. What's next on our LinkedIn checklist?
Let's talk about the power of recommendations. They become even more crucial when you're switching fields.
They're like little testimonials, right?
Exactly. Social proof of your skills and abilities in this new area.
Okay, but how do you get good recommendations when you're just starting out in a new field?
Think about people who can speak to those relevant skills, even from your previous career.
So it doesn't have to be from my most recent job.
Not at all. It's about showcasing the skills that matter most in your NW field.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Okay.
Any tips on making the process easier for those who are recommending me?
Definitely. Offer to write a first draft of the recommendation yourself.
Oh, smart. That takes the pressure off them.
Right. And it ensures the content focuses on the skills that are most relevant to your new goals.
It's like a win-win. Okay, recommendations check. What's our final stop on this LinkedIn deep dive?
Let's talk about interview prep. Believe it or not, LinkedIn can be a secret weapon here too.
Wait, really? I would never have thought of that.
Yeah.
How does that work?
It's all about research and connection. Let's say you have an interview at a specific company.
Okay, so I've got the interview lined up.
You can use LinkedIn to research the company, their culture, their values. You can see what they've been up to lately.
Okay, so doing my homework.
Exactly. But here's the real magic. Connect with current employees, people in similar roles, or even...
Wait, the person who's interviewing me?
It's not always possible, but why not try? Send a polite message expressing your excitement and asking for insights.
So it's like getting a sneak peek behind the curtain.
Exactly. Even if they can't chat, it shows initiative.
It shows you're serious. And even if you can't connect with the interviewer, those other employees can be super helpful, right?
Absolutely. They can give you insider info about the company culture, the work environment, and even the kinds of questions they were asked during their interviews.
Okay, so LinkedIn for research, for connecting with potential interviewers, even current employees.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see how powerful this platform can be. It's way more than just a resume. It's like...
It's a whole career ecosystem.
Exactly. It's a whole world waiting to be explored.
We've covered the core steps today to revamp your LinkedIn for a career change, but there's even more to uncover.
There's more.
Oh, yeah. In part 2, we'll dive even deeper into networking, content creation, and personal branding.
Oh, I can't wait. We'll be right back after a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. Ready to level up your LinkedIn game even more?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready to dive back in. We talked about those essential steps, like getting your profile in tip-top shape and starting to connect with people.
Right, building that network. But it's not just about collecting connections, is it? It's got to be more than that.
Exactly. It's about quality, not just quantity.
Exactly. Think of those connections like planting seeds. You got to nurture them, give them time to grow.
Okay, I like that. So it's not a one-and-done kind of thing. You got to put in the effort to build those relationships.
Absolutely. And honestly, a lot of it comes down to mindset. It's not just transactional,
Not just, what can I get from this person?
Right. It's about genuine, Connection, learning from each other, sharing experiences.
So how do we do that? Like, how do we reach out to people without feeling awkward or pushy?
That's a great question. First, ditch the generic connection requests. I'd like to add you to my network one.
Oh, yeah, those are so impersonal.
Right. Instead, take a minute to personalize it. Tell them why you want to connect.
Okay, so what are some good ways to do that?
Mention something specific that stood out to you on their profile. Maybe you admire their work in a particular area, or you saw they worked at a company you're interested in.
So show them you've actually done your homework.
Exactly. And once you're connected, don't just disappear.
Stay engaged.
Engage. Comment on their posts, share their articles, congratulate them on their achievements, show them that you're paying attention.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about those industry leaders? The ones you really admire but don't know personally? That can feel intimidating to reach out to.
Oh, I totally get it. But honestly, most people on LinkedIn are pretty open to connecting. And remember, they were once in your shoes too.
Right, they didn't start out as experts.
Exactly. So don't be afraid to reach out. And this is where informational interviews can be super valuable.
Informational interviews, those are.
They're basically a way to learn from people who are already doing what you want to do.
Oh, okay, like a mini mentorship session.
Exactly. Find someone whose career you admire and just reach out. Explain that you're interested in learning more about their path.
But isn't it kind of awkward to ask for someone's time like that?
Yeah.
Especially when you don't know them.
I know, it can feel that way. But here's the key. Be upfront about it. Tell them it's an informational interview, not a job interview.
Okay, so just be honest and straightforward.
Right. And people are usually happy to help. Just be respectful of their time, come prepared with some good questions, and always send a thank you note afterwards.
Those are good tips. So we've covered networking strategies. Now, what about creating our own content on LinkedIn?
Yes, this is where you can really shine. Share your insights, spark conversations, and start positioning yourself as a thought leader in your new field.
Okay, but that sounds kind of intimidating. Do you have to be like a professional writer to do that?
Not at all. You don't need to have some groundbreaking discovery or write a novel. Just think about the questions people are asking in your industry, the challenges they're facing.
Tap into the conversations that are already happening.
Exactly. You can start small. Share a short post with your thoughts on a recent industry article. Or write a longer piece diving into a specific topic. You can even create videos or infographics. The point is to be consistent and provide value to your audience.
And what about finding your own voice? There's so much content out there, it's hard to stand out.
That's where personality comes in. Let people see who you are, what makes you tick.
Don't be afraid to be yourself, even on LinkedIn.
Exactly. Share your unique perspective, your experiences.
It's not about fitting in, it's about standing out.
Exactly. Think about what makes you different, what makes your perspective unique. Those are the things that will resonate with people.
That's really encouraging. Okay, so we've talked about networking and content creation. What's the final piece of the puzzle when it comes to using LinkedIn for a career change?
Let's talk about personal branding.
Personal branding,
It's basically your professional superpower. It's that unique combination of skills, experiences, and values that you bring to the table. It's what makes you memorable.
Okay, I like that. So how do we cultivate a strong personal brand, especially when we're trying to change careers?
It starts with authenticity. Be yourself. Let your personality shine through in everything you do on LinkedIn.
So don't try to be someone you're not.
Exactly. People can spot a fake a mile away. Be genuine, be passionate, be you.
Okay, authenticity is key. What else should we keep in mind?
Be clear about your value proposition. What are you good at? What problems can you solve? What makes you unique?
So have a clear message about what you bring to the table.
Right. And once you know your value proposition, make sure it's reflected in everything you do on LinkedIn. Your profile, your content, your interactions.
So it's about consistency, having a consistent message across the board.
You got it. And finally, be patient. Building a strong personal brand takes time and effort.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. Show up consistently, share valuable content, engage with your network, the results will come.
So we need to be consistent, persistent, and patient, and not get discouraged if things don't happen overnight.
Exactly. And remember, LinkedIn is just one tool in your toolbox. Don't forget about networking events, job boards, company websites. It's about having a multi-pronged approach.
Using all the resources at our disposal.
Okay.
This is all great advice, but it can feel overwhelming. Where do we even start?
It's not about checking boxes or following some rigid formula. It's about using LinkedIn authentically and strategically to connect with people, share your story, and showcase your value.
Okay, so it's more about the journey than the destination.
Exactly. Don't get caught up in trying to do everything perfectly. Start small, experiment, find what works for you.
That's a great reminder. And speaking of sharing our stories, that brings us to another key aspect of LinkedIn that we'll dive into after the break. We've talked about building our profiles, connecting with others, and creating content. But there's something else that's essential on LinkedIn, isn't there?
Absolutely. One of the most powerful tools we have, not just on LinkedIn, but in life, is storytelling.
Storytelling on LinkedIn.
Think about it. Your career journey is unique. It's yours. Sharing that story authentically in a way that resonates with people can really make you stand out.
So it's not just about listing our accomplishments and skills, but
Yeah.
it's about sharing the why behind our choices.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
lessons we've learned, the passions that drive us, it's about connecting with people on a human level.
So it's like turning our experiences into a narrative that people can relate to.
Precisely. And don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Share your challenges, your setbacks, your moments of growth. People connect with authenticity, with real stories, the human experience behind the professional facade.
I think that's something a lot of people struggle with, showing that vulnerability, especially on a platform like LinkedIn.
Hmm?
But it's about being relatable, right?
Absolutely.
Showing that we're all on a journey
Huh.
with ups and downs along the way. It makes you more human.
Okay, so we've talked about the power of storytelling. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about some common mistakes people make on LinkedIn. What are some things we should avoid doing? One of the biggest mistakes is treating LinkedIn like a static resume. It's not just a place to list your job titles and responsibilities.
Right. It's more dynamic than that.
It is. It's a platform where you can showcase your personality, your skills, and your aspirations.
It's like the difference between a black and white photo and a vibrant full-color video. LinkedIn gives us the opportunity to really bring our professional selves to life.
I love that analogy. And another common mistake is neglecting to engage with others. LinkedIn is a social platform,
Yeah.
so be social.
Comment on posts, share articles, participate in discussions.
Right. Don't be a lurker. No one likes a wallflower.
Exactly. And when you do reach out to people, be genuine and personalize your messages.
Absolutely. No one wants to receive a generic connection request or feel like they're being spammed with irrelevant content.
It's about treating others the way we want to be treated, both online and offline. Respectful, authentic, and engaging.
Exactly. And finally, be patient. Building a strong LinkedIn presence and a successful career change takes time and effort.
It's a journey, not a
Mm.
destination.
Right. So be consistent, be persistent, and be patient. The results will come.
We've covered so much ground in this deep dive. We talked about revamping our profiles, networking strategically, creating engaging content, building a strong personal brand, and avoiding common mistakes. But most importantly, we've learned that LinkedIn is so much more than just a job-seeking platform. It's a powerful tool for connecting, learning, and growing.
It is. And hopefully you're feeling empowered and inspired to take your LinkedIn game to the next level and embark on this exciting career transition journey with confidence.
I know I am. So here's our final thought for you. Think about one small step you can take right now to start moving your LinkedIn profile and your career in the right direction.
Maybe it's updating your headline, connecting with someone new, or writing a thoughtful post. No action is too small. What matters is taking that first step and building momentum from there.
That's it for today's deep dive on transforming your LinkedIn profile for a career change. Until next time, happy networking.